Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Savannah by Night here on the Midnight Dispatch. It is, of course, thankfully, not the only thing we do here, and also not the only thing people here are involved with. Dreamy, where can we find you on Tuesdays?
On Tuesdays, you can find me on Top Down Tabletop at 7:30 Central. Join us for Embers and Arcanum, a 2024 D&D adventure. But wait, come sometime in January, we'll be taking a little break from Embers and Arcanum, letting Vix just get a little revitalization of her creative energy. And I will be running a four-part series of the newly released Kids and Capes.
No capes.
More details to come.
Martel, where can we find you? I believe tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be over at Knights of Silvermoon playing Star Wars. We had the mass destruction of a whole lot of regular innocent men and women who work for the Empire that had families and children. And now we're gonna fight someone with maybe a little bit more hit points. It's going to be great.
It's always a fun way of describing, all the people that worked on the Death Star had like a rich and layered life outside of their job, and none of those people are going home.
It's rough, man.
Just, just rained pink slips that day. And Sam, what are you doing?
Tomorrow is going to be our first, first and maybe last, depends on how much my brain can take it. But it's going to be a Smoggle Scream stream. So I'm going to tomorrow night here on Midnight Dispatch. I'm going to be streaming the game Routine, which is apparently an 80s style uh horror game, sci-fi horror game. So we'll see how it goes and see how much I ever want to do that again.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we cut away?
I do. Um, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone here, both here live in chat, both watching the VOD afterwards, watching it on YouTube. I would like to thank you all for supporting us at not only Savannah by Night, but at the Midnight Dispatch, getting into our first 6 months of existence or so, and it was a great time to be able to do this transition, and really love the people who continue to support us during that. And we are very excited to continue making more content beyond Savannah by Night and continuing to build the community that's joining us in our little radio tower here on Twitch. So I just want to extend, before the new year ends, thank you to all of you for supporting us, and really excited to continue with the first full calendar year of the Midnight Dispatch. So thank you to all of you.
Well said. If there's nothing else, let's tell a fucking vampire story. Last time on Savannah by Night, Cora approached Olivia, a Tremere, at her flower shop about the possibility of acquiring some sort of powerful sedative. While naturally the Malkavian attempted to demur on specifics, Olivia eventually uprooted the truth and made plain the risks to both of them. That in order to create something powerful enough to affect a mudman, it could conceivably be used on another kindred. Trust would need to be cultivated before engaging in such endeavors. In a much needed distraction, Kate brought Belle with her to see a member of her herd performing a small set at a renowned dive bar. Things stayed relatively sedate until a trio of blondes took the diminutive stage and belted out a song of loss and longing. The wave of emotions seemingly having a supernatural origin that more easily washed over the composed Ventru, but briefly caught the Malkavian in its undertow. But just as suddenly as that tide rolled in, it immediately ebbed, leaving Kate with a new curiosity to chase and an impending meal. In the wake of Poppy's daring crime of opportunity, Ellie found themselves mingling among the still ongoing artistic display at Scad's Museum of Arts, looking for their own patron to solicit donations from. However, Harlan warned the Nosferatu off of pursuing a member of the clergy, as he reminded them of how interfering with the church can have dire consequences for the solar challenged. The guidance appeared to sober Ellie's previous line of thought as they soon tried to make a polite exit. But Yvette ambushed the unlikely pair and began to needle them. Harlan smoothly provided a distraction to let the Nosferatu slip out unnoticed, giving them a quiet moment of reflection in the van that prompted them to reach out to, of all people, Chris. Artem was directed by Alden, his benefactor and seneschal, to accompany the Scourge in finding and killing any Sabbat they find. The pair of Gangles swept through the myriad of small unnamed islets through the eastern portions of the marshes until, finally, they caught the scent of what should not be present. Surreptitiously going ashore, the violent duo crept through the woods until they found their quarry, a pack of vampires that danced around a bonfire that was surrounded by the visceral evidence of their inhumanity. Artem and the Scourge made gruesomely short work of them, with Artem opening the melee by hurling one of them into the flames. The others soon joined the scattered gore on the ground, except for one still cruelly left alive, desperately clawing at the hatchet buried in his face, a portent of his immediate future, as the powers that be will have a powerful axe to grind. Now, before we get into that, Poppy,
Oh,
you had
yes.
just absconded with something. Well, what was it that you took again?
I took an outfit from a mannequin that was quite high fashion. That was in a movie, I believe we decided. Famous movie. And it's quite beautiful. It is red and befringed and has an Elizabethan collar. It's like a weird combination of Western kind of cowgirl attire and Queen Elizabeth the First. It's very odd, but it's very cool. Oh, and a necklace I took from a lady.
I believe you used the necklace to distract, so you don't have that anymore.
Oh, that's true. I did. I was a misplace. Yeah.
It was an
Someone
intentional
else
whoopsie.
It was an intentional whoopsie.
But you had a caveat and directive to follow up on, that whatever you take, Edward had to know about it before the victim did.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your plan right now?
I am going to send him a text. Acquired a treat. Would love to share.
Within moments, you get back, you know where.
I'll be right there. That rhymed. Those 3 lines rhymed.
No bonus points, but it is appreciated.
That's fair. Yeah, she will get into her car. She may carefully take off the clothes if she has a moment in a dark place, and kind of carefully fold them up as neatly as she can, and get back into her nice kind of streetwear, fashionable cocktail dress situation she had going on.
I believe it was like a band tee or something that you had.
It was like a ripped band tee, but over it was this very girly frilly tulle dress. And so it's like a combination of like very soft almost doll-like clothing plus a more grungy 90s rocker vibe. It's very interesting. It's like lace and studs as a combo.
I'm picturing the band Veruca Salt hanging out
Yes.
with baby metal.
Yes, wait, that's the vibe. Very baby metal, like the tulle dress, like short little fluffy thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's the vibe.
So, are there any little detours that you take on the way there, or is it just straight to the scene of your next potential crime?
Straight to Edwards, because I
Mm-hmm.
think she was a little wigged out, just a little bit at the experience of stealing stuff, and now she's kind of riding the adrenaline high a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You, of course, park outside his older but renovated townhouse with all that sort of beigey sandstone sort of outward aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you put the acquired costume in something like a tote bag,
Yeah, I'll put it in a nondescript tote bag that she probably just has in her car for picking stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to use plastic. Plastic lasts forever. Like her.
Well, we'll see how this goes.
Sure.
You ring the bell, you knock, break a window. What are we doing?
No, I'll go and ring the bell and politely wait.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of shifting from foot to foot a little bit and then having to kind of like, no, this is work. This is business. And she steadies herself.
You don't typically experience adrenaline anymore. Your heart, your various bodily systems don't behave in the same manner. But the memory of it is there like a phantom limb, that you are reacting to a sensation that may not be there, but you are almost filling in the blanks yourself. And maybe because of that, it feels like an eternity before he opens the door. Which, if you weren't nervous and jittery, feeling like you were coming down from the adrenaline, you do now.
Mm-hmm.
Because while the adrenaline may not be flowing through you, paranoia certainly is.
It really is. It really, really is.
And he answers in nice dark slacks that look like they belong to a matching suit jacket, a very crisp, sort of pale salmon dress shirt with the sleeves very expertly rolled up.
Oh.
It's that it's perfectly arranged. None of this sort of like just haphazard. It is like every fold is intentional.
Hmm.
He looks to you, looks to the toad. Oh, well then, please.
She'll step in
Mm.
and thank him for holding the door. This item I felt could either grace your home here or grace somebody in which you find a home.
In which an eyebrow does in fact pop up. Why, whatever do you mean?
Well, would you like to see it? The last person that wore it was Charlize Theron. I've decided. Is that okay? Just like in a movie, I feel like she'd wear that.
Sure.
Sure.
She's had weirder roles. Who cares?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, I could see her in
I
a
saw
weird,
Aeon
like...
Flux. She doesn't get to judge any costume.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Um, I could try it on for you, or I could just show you the piece that I found you.
Well, now you have me very intrigued. What exactly did you get away with? Actually, more importantly, did you get away with it?
Of course.
Now,
She
who are you
tries
trying to
to...
convince in that moment? Him or herself?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Mm-hmm.
I think she feels like she did a good kind of redirection of attention with the necklace, but
So before
she
we
did
get in,
fumble a little bit. Yeah.
okay. Before we get to the what, walk me through the how, and he's going to direct you over to the sunken lounge. Since you had
Great.
fallen in love with it last time.
It
He's
is
not even
great.
looking at whatever you brought him, still in the bag. I like to think that it's sitting in that sort of center ottoman that's between that, like, the ring of couch.
Yeah.
He's sitting across from it, and, one leg folded over the other, sort of, yeah, exactly what Sam is doing. Not quite steepled, but just hands neatly clasped. Walk me through your crime.
Sure. Now sometimes when I am experiencing a little bit of a desire to acquire, I will do a little bit of research to try to find places, people that interested me in an area. But this one kind of came to me via Clarice and Tylene, who I've gotten to know a little bit better since I've been here. And Tylene got me a invite to a gallery showing over at SCAD. Now, usually I would be a little more hesitant to try a SCAD heist. However, this event was specifically a no camera phone recording device permitted kind of event, which means there were also many of us there. And I thought how impressive it might be to nab something under the noses not only of the Medici of Savannah, but also some of us. And so I did, and I found this incredible piece. And she'll like start kind of like unfurling it from the bag.
Mm-hmm. How do you present this? You are taking it out of the bag, but how are you trying to sell this as a look at this priceless item or oddity that I have acquired?
I think she does the thing where you like lay it over an arm and like it's almost like she's caressing it as if it's alive in a way, like if it's like an animal or a small child that you're trying to like soothe to kind of like show the craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm. He does regard her for a moment. He sort of seems to be like counting his head one way or the other, as if trying to imagine its angles and contours. rather than just simply draping. Hmm.
And I wore it out of the museum.
You wore it out.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very daring.
I've been known to be a little
Both
bit.
a demonstration of dress for the job you want and acting like you're supposed to be there. Potential merits on what we may or may not be undertaking in the future. Good work.
Thank you.
But before I get too congratulatory, Miss Stewart, you are certain you are not caught.
I am.
How certain?
Very, incredibly.
Would you be willing to walk back into the venue, not wearing that, of course, as if you'd simply stepped out to your car for a moment?
Of course.
Now, returning to the scene of the crime is quite daring, but again, acting like you're supposed to be there, acting like nothing is wrong, is high risk. I will leave it to you to decide if that is something you want to do.
It was a very nice party. And I did meet this strange goth man there. Could be interesting. Or a goth thembo, I should say.
You have said a word that does not compute with him.
Thembo. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Is that something I should be
Oh, I'd
caring
love to
about when
teach
writing?
you. Yes.
I meant the person, not the lingo.
Oh. The person? I'm not sure. Just a random person. People can be inspiring.
I will let you know of next steps, but I suggest making sure that all has gone over as intended, that you are in no way connected to any sort of foul play. I will hold on to this in the meantime.
Sounds good. I appreciate your thoroughness.
You've seen my work. Thoroughness is the name of the game.
Well, I will go dot my I's and cross my T's, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Let me show you to the door.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before he fully sees you out?
Salmon is a beautiful color for your skin tone.
I never tire of the toreador capacity for flattery.
It's just truth.
I'll take it in the spirit that it's given. Have a good night, Miss Stewart.
You too.
And as you head on out, you get to your car. There's a little bit of an additional note, but what is it that you are going through at the moment?
Yeah, Poppy has a little like, oh, of course he wants me to go back. And yes, I can handle it. I will use my Toreador wiles to handle it because I'm made to handle things. And so she'll like get back into the car. She'll probably put on the Brat album again and like screlt, like scream belt Sympathy is a Knife on the way back. and park and plan to go back in.
I'm going to throw you a small curveball.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can decide where in this little miniature timeline that it lands.
Great.
Either when you get in the car or when you have just parked back at SCAD. The group text pings with a message from Chris. Ellie wants to meet me at the house. I'd like some backup. Not to be in the conversation, just to be around the house.
I feel like it's as soon as she pulls up to SCAD that she gets it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Hezekiah didn't say how long Poppy needed to be there, even if she was just popping in and out. I feel like that's a good vibe. Also, Poppy, in some way, is like, oh God, what could Ellie possibly want? Am I going to need to be in between this, like, kind of confrontation of some sort? Because Poppy does flatter herself in thinking that she can kind of talk down both friends. So
Oh,
she'll
they're friends to Poppy, both of them?
oh yeah, everybody's my friend.
Well, now that word loses all
Um,
meaning.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think she'll say, um, give me 30 minutes and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume you go in.
Yeah. She goes in and like is like closing her purse as she comes in as if she's like putting like a lipstick away or something, like went outside for some air.
You want her, I assume like you give up the phone,
Oh
you,
yeah, yeah. She goes back through the whole rigmarole
okay.
and goes back in and is gonna make a show of looking for the goth thembo that she was talking to.
I'd say they have long absconded at this point,
Fair.
but we're gonna have you do a little retroactive perception alertness.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this at an 8.
Okay. Here we go. Perception is 3. Alertness is 1. Add an 8. Okay. No successes.
Not a botch.
Not a botch, but no
Okay.
successes.
Okay. You don't know who they were really walking around with. You don't know
Yeah.
why they were there. You don't know who invited them.
Yeah.
You didn't see if they were milling around like a certain piece of art or if they were one of the artists. They were just there.
They
You,
didn't leave like a Cinderella Doc Martin for me
nah,
to.
there was no like pattern. They sort of just emerged for a moment
Mm-hmm.
and disappeared back into the woodwork. They
Got
did
it.
not stand out in that way.
Has the like hype of people finding the necklace on the old man calmed down a bit now
That's
that she's
long since calmed down.
great? So she'll continue just like looking around at the art. Maybe we'll pick up a champagne glass or wine glass just to have something to hold.
Eventually, Tylene will slink back up to you, sort of from the side, and just, oh, where did you get off to?
I had to get some air. Sometimes I get a little claustrophobic.
Question. You did
Hmm.
feed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. She looks at the newly reapplied lipstick
Mm-hmm.
because you weren't just doing pantomime, you were doing
Yeah.
the act.
Yeah.
Oh, did we have a little bit of fun?
Always. Nothing quite like the munchies.
Nothing that's going to be causing me any problems?
Of course not.
Good. Have a good time?
Yes, thank you so much for the invite. This means a lot to me. It really does. I feel like I'm figuring out where the inspiration actually comes from here.
Well, we'll have to bring you around a little bit more then.
I would love that. I would love that.
And if the timing's right, we'll have to show you to some of the actual studios.
Oh, that would be amazing. I've been missing my old college studio. It was a disgusting kind of cardboard box of a place, but it was a haven for me. So I would love to see some of the studios.
For a moment, you do get a little bit of a wistful smile. I remember my first shared apartment with a range of models who were all packed in like sardines. It was disgusting,
Yeah.
and yet something magical about it.
It was real.
I wouldn't go back, but
Oh, no. God, no.
formative, and we'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming, dearie.
Thank you. And I'll see you around.
She does look around a little bit. The wistful smile does dim. Unfortunately, I think sooner than we'd all like.
What do you mean?
Can't talk about it yet.
Of course.
Be safe out there.
I will. Oh, and Clarice gives her regards. She was a bit under the weather this evening.
I see. I'll give her my best.
I will.
Her presence is missed among the scene.
I'll let her know.
Tell Nico his presence was missed for other reasons.
Oh.
How dare he stand a girl up?
Oh no. I will have him for this. Yeah, we will get him.
Oh, take photos. And
Will
she
do.
does sashay away.
Amazing.
Can we end the scene there?
Yeah, I think that kind of fulfills Poppy's like be seen and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, as you go back out to the car to start getting ready to head to Wormslow, Ellie, you did notice there was a bit of a long pause on a response. Like, you did rather quickly see the scene tag on the text, but no response for a little while, and it took like a good 10-15. And you just get, because what was the exact message? Was, can I see you at the house? Or
It was like, hey, it's Ellie. Do you have time to talk tonight
Mhm.
at the house? Pretty much.
You at one point do start to see the little ... stop, ... stop,
Mm-hmm.
and then just a thumbs up emoji.
I guess that is an answer, technically. So Ellie will make their way towards the house.
Okay, I'll check back
Because
in
if
with
they
you.
have too much time to prepare, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Fair. All right, we'll check back in with you in a moment. Kate, you also got that same message. Cora would have as well. Artem, you're a little bit busy at the moment, and we'll get to your response to that if there is one in a little bit. But Kate, You are at Barry's. You have been engaging in some, we'll say, post musical enjoyment, or hopefully some high notes were hit.
One way to phrase it.
Mhm.
Um, very uncharacteristically, for those checking the group message, you just see like a girl. Next message. Can somebody pick me up? I don't think I should drive.
As has been discussed off screen. Oh, sorry, you were going to add something.
No, just continue this. I'm pulling up a pre-written text that is another text I'm going to send out.
Okay. I hope this doesn't conflict with what I will be answering then. It would be from Cora. And it's just first to Chris saying, on the way, another sort of like a response text to Kate, where and when, already on the way.
I'll um I'll start to head out. I'll walk like a block away from Barry's and drop her a
Mhm.
pin. I'm gonna send two texts there. I'm gonna
Mhm.
send a text to Barry. This one I'm gonna stare at real good to make sure I try to spell it right.
Mhm.
And it's gonna say, and if you want to make me roll for it, that'd be hysterical. It's gonna say, sorry, I had to sneak out. Work thing came up. Didn't want to wake you.
No, I'm not going to make you roll for that.
Okay. And the
It
next,
may have like one or two letters wrong or a word out of order, but I'm going to say it's coherent enough.
and while my phone is out and I'm texting in my
Mhm.
state, I am going to text Belle,
Mhm.
and it is going to say, hey girl, hope you're okay. Kind of surprised you didn't leave with anyone. What was up with that one band? More than just your average emotional pool, right? Thanks so much for coming out with me. Enjoy time with you. The little heart emoji.
No immediate response, but remind me later on in the session. Um, I will say that because Cora is a ruthlessly efficient driver when she wants to be, and she was already leaving her own meeting, that she's there in relatively short order. And I won't be going into how she reacts to anything. It's, I think, maybe in professional mode of just, I'm not going to ask what you were doing or who it was with. We're going to get you in the car. Oh, you're a little bit faced. Um, I'm used to executive driving pool situations. I'm just going to take you where you need to go, and we'll compartmentalize that for a later conversation.
And Iskra mentioned that Cora and Kate can do a little wibbly wobbly reminiscing on, haha, you were so smashed in the car later on when she's feeling better.
Mhm.
So,
I'll say she's borrowing from her venture friend of going, oh, we're going to compartmentalize. We're going to put that over here, and we'll deal with it later. So, is it okay if I parse away from that a little bit? Okay. Artem.
Oh God.
That's what the one guy on the ground would be screaming if he wasn't muffled by the blade buried in his face. You see that amongst the carnage, there is a few pieces of people who are trying to move about independent from themselves, but to no avail. He is still scratching and scrambling at his own face, trying to rip this thing out, but he's mostly just doing more damage to his own face in his desperation.
So
I will
he is
say that
making. Oh God.
Jethro is not acting with any rush.
Mm-hmm.
He is simply surveying all the mayhem and seems unbothered by that. As
Yeah.
if that bow has tied itself, I'll get to it when I want to. And he's beginning to pick up some pieces, start lobbing them in the fire.
Mm-hmm. Well, Artem can probably help with that in a sec, but the first thing he's going to do is take his stake out and just try and shove it in this guy with the axe in his face's heart.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like noise.
I will say that he is, for all intents and purposes, already incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
I will not have you roll because even if you miss, it's more a case of you have infinite tries.
Mm-hmm.
So you will get that there within the next minute or so. It just
Yeah.
might just mean that you like have to reach for a nearby rock and start chiseling this in. But eventually you have the desired effect of a staked man with a hatchet erupting out of his I don't know, piano lessons as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay? Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Well, so that taken care of, he'll probably look around, see Jethro throwing pieces of Kindred into the fire. I guess he'll just start doing the same, kind of coming down from the rush, I guess. Not gonna say anything yet. Basically just waiting on Jethro to see if they're gonna keep moving tonight or if they've got one and maybe this is what they were looking for.
You see, at first, he's just trying to throw as many pieces into the fairly substantial bonfire. Both of the Sabbat that you had butchered in real time and the prior existing human detritus. As if trying to... Those missing people are going to stay missing. Anything that is going to the fire will be so destroyed as to be meaningless if anybody ever finds it. The few fragments left on the ground will be destroyed by the elements in short order. But he's taking care of the problematic set dressing. Anything that can't be explained or destroyed easily is going in the boat. And he looks over at the, well, no longer screaming individual who you have forced into torpor. For a moment, you are back on that small tugboat in international waters where you've made related but different choices. How you reconcile with that is up to you. But as he is cleaning up the scene, what do you do? Do you assist? Do you...
Yeah, so he'll assist. He might take another sniff just to see if this is everyone around here, but he suspects that it probably is, so he's probably not going to put too much stock into that. I can make a roll if you'd like.
I'd say we did a lot of rolls in the previous scene that led up to this, so that's plenty. You notice that Jethro is unbothered.
Yeah.
He's not stalking around. He's not looking for more. He seems beyond satisfied with what has transpired. The outcome is what was intended. You have seen him sniff the air, but he does not seem perturbed.
Mm-hmm.
You have dealt death to a group, and you have, well, it's charitable to call him a survivor, as his suffering is on pause,
Mm-hmm.
is the most charitable way you can put it. And eventually he does look at that staked individual. There's a tarp in the boat. Go get it.
Artem will go get it.
As he's finishing up, you grab the tarp, and this individual is haphazardly rolled up in it. It seems less about trying to make a neat bundle and more just making sure if anybody passes by on a boat,
Mm-hmm.
they're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Granted, if they go on by on boat, they're probably going to be more distracted by Jethro's bizarre
Right.
presentation.
Mm-hmm.
But just not being too sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Now your hands are thoroughly covered in dirt, gore. Some of it is beginning to dry. As you get into the boat and he does start heading off, he growls out that you are heading back to Wormslow. Do you sit there with your bloodied hands? Do you try to wash them in the passing water? Or is Artem in more of a lockdown processing mode right now?
So I think there's definitely some processing going on, but that's not gonna stop him from trying to improve his presentation, I guess.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's gonna try and like wash his hands, like check other parts of his body, what's what's dirty, what's dirt, what's blood. Probably won't be able to get that out.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of doing his best. Maybe a little bit to distract himself.
Okay. What's going through his mind at the moment?
So there is a part of him that always knew that it would come to this in one way or another. He's been in a pretty tame situation for most of his life as a kindred. But he's not naive as to what bought that, right? Like, Zoya is a lot of things, but most importantly, she is a monster. And that's what he is too, right? Um, he kind of wishes it was a little bit more on his terms, but he had to, you know, he has to pull his weight in this new situation. He's got to prove himself, not only for just himself, but also for someone he's potentially trying to bring here. And
when the boss that lets you stay in his pool house
yeah,
tells you to
right.
do something,
You do it.
Mm.
Though, at the same time, there was a man at one point who died because he decided that he was not going to be a killer. He didn't actually die, of course. He ended up being saved by Zoya, but he was going to
Mhm.
if she hadn't shown up. And he is wondering where that man is now.
Keeping in mind the person that Artem did not kill, in his estimations, did not deserve it. The people that had been strewn about on the earthen floor of this small islet, that they deserve what they got? Or are they just random people going about their lives?
Yeah. There
And all
is,
you did was
yeah,
potentially rebalance the scales.
there is definitely a piece of him that is like, right, like just looking at the scene, they obviously created that and they were reveling in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's only really killed once before well, twice, but um, the big time it was mobsters and they had come to kill him. So got some justification there, right? Maybe he's got some now too. Who knows?
As he wrestles with this, your hands are eventually clean enough that if you are mentally present enough, if you are not so locked in processing this, that you can, if you choose to, check your phone.
Yeah, sure.
The group chat has popped up a little bit. You, of course, get the initial text of Chris wanting some backup and the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Poppy is on her way. That Kate is in a slightly altered state, but on her way in tow with Cora, so that you know all of them are heading to where you're already going.
Mm-hmm.
However, your phone is having a little bit of an intermittent connection due to you bouncing through the islands. It's a miracle that you got the text at all, and it did seem almost time delayed.
Yeah. I think the way Artem is approaching this is Chris knows what he was doing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
She will understand if he can't be there. He will try.
Mm-hmm. But luckily, you are heading in that direction. We're going to pan over to Ellie, if there's nothing else you'd like to add there. Ellie, you arrive at Wormslow. It seems to be relatively quiet for a Saturday night. There are, of course, a scattering of cars, but it is also fairly late. If there was a more bustling activity, it's probably long since ebbed. What do you do?
I get out of my car. Um, I walk in. I say hi to Bruno as I walk in,
Mm-hmm.
and I head to the I head start making my way directly to the back, outside in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I head not directly to the gazebo itself, but I head like a little bit to the right, so like by the river, or or yeah, by the river nearby, and I then text Chris just saying to the right of the gazebo by the river.
Her head actually pops up from the confines of the gazebo as if she was waiting there for it. Not necessarily for you to arrive there as much as that's just where she was hiding out.
Yeah.
And you've probably picked up enough in the few months that you've been there that while she will go inside, or there's some people that she wants to talk to, like Harlan or Lewis, she does prefer being outside. So when you see her head pop up and that sort of wild mane kind of bob about, you hear her shout, "Hey! Over here!"
Ellie makes their way to the gazebo.
As you make the short walk, she is sort of adjusting herself to sit on the like the railing at the adjacent wall from the actual entrance. Less of a like power position and more just a case of letting you have some space. And potentially a quick exit for both of you.
Ellie takes a quick look around just to see if there's anyone else here besides us.
Roll a perception alertness at a... I'll do a 5. For all intents and purposes, Poppy, Kate, and Cora are arriving in are in vicinity. They are at Elysium. You're just not going to be part of this little interaction. You are somewhere nearby, either directly in the building or outside. Depends
5 successes.
5 successes. I will say no one is in the immediate vicinity of the gazebo, aside from you two. You do notice along the shoreline, one of the guards is doing a patrol, and you do get a little bit of that silhouette of a guard walking along the docks, trading off with another one. Are either of you, Kate or Poppy, outside around the rear of the house? Not actually at the gazebo, but just milling around outside.
I feel like Cora probably would have asked where Chris is when we pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably would have made a direct line, so probably not at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think same for Poppy. She'd want to go directly to them if possible.
So your intent is to go and be at the gazebo or to be somewhere else? Trying to parse the logic there.
Like, pull up into the parking area and then head straight for the gazebo if that's where Chris said she was. So
what she had said, though, however, was that she was not wanting everyone there, just where she's going to be, who she's going to be talking to. She wanted people in the building.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll go just chill upstairs in the library.
Mm-hmm.
See if Lump's there.
Okay.
Until I'm needed.
That we can do that. Kate, what would you like to be doing then, now that we've sort of corrected the sequence?
Probably staying outside as to not
Like more the side of the house or
Yeah, not make a dramatic un-Kate-like entrance to whoever may be inside.
Mhm. I'll say Cora would stick with you then. For the reason of being nearby and also maybe babysitting the drunk baby Blue, just in case.
Yeah.
Um, so for Ellie, because they are on the side of the house, you're not going to be able to see them, but you are not seeing anyone who's going to be eavesdropping. With the number of successes, you are reasonably sure that there is no one else here that's going to get in the way. You're not being ambushed or surrounded. The only people that are remotely nearby are just the basic security of the grounds, who typically avoid people when they're having conversations and getting out of the way as long as it doesn't get in the way of them doing their job.
My sire's a jackass. He was funny when he wasn't supposed to be. He would definitely leave me in the lurch if he wanted to get out of Dodge. Made learning the areas a little bit of a hard time. And those are some of the qualities that made us get along with each other really well. He also embraced me to save me from being killed by another kindred. When I joined that court, the kindred was still in that court itself. And despite the other jobs that I had, there were certainly, let's just say, not so friendly words spoken between us since then. At a certain point, we were given a job. I was paired with her to get the job done. And because the grudge, feud, whatever got in the way, ended up fucking things up. And now my sire's no longer with us. I was reminded tonight that no matter how deserved some of the ire might be, that if push comes to shove, I can't let anything between me and another get in the way of our safety. So, I'm going to attempt to put my feelings behind me I know I will not be good at it because I am sometimes not very good at resisting saying something that is on my mind. But I am not trying to do it out of malice, or I will at least try to fix it afterwards. And to show I am serious about this matter, I am going to start training with Havel. And if you want to come and watch me get beat up, or do the honors, I'll let you know when my appointment is.
Sam, before I respond, I just want to make sure that you're finished so I don't interrupt.
I am finished.
Okay. What I'd like for you to do, Sam, is write down on your notes for when you have to do your, especially you, your willpower reclamation. You
Name
now have
one
an
time.
argument. All of them. When are we on episode 46? 46 times. At first, you notice as you begin, there's a certain like defensive posture, a little bit more of a grip on the banister, the support column, and it's unclear if it's bracing or trying to keep herself where she is to stop her worst instinct of just leaping off of it at you, or preparing for you to lunge at her, but we both know what's more likely. There's also, and I'll give you this for free, a little bit of a hesitation of like, maybe I'm just going to jump over the side of this and just exit this. Because maybe that's as angry as maybe I'll get because she hasn't heard the whole speech yet of, I don't know where this is going. This is weird and uncomfortable. I'm not even mad. I'm just uncomfortable and I want to leave. It's like I'll just reverse Riker maneuver her way out of the situation, but she stays. And the suspicion remains for a large portion of it as she listens. And it does become active listening after a little while. The shoulders lower a little bit. They're not fully relaxed, but they're less tense than when you first walked up. You do notice this little sympathetic head tilt when you get into the sire being dead. And your own culpability in it. Less your own hand and more just part of the set of dominoes. Maybe you didn't even set them up, but you were part of how they fell down. And when you get to the, even though some of it might be earned, and there's that little like eyebrow quirk, head no longer slightly canted, and it's just She doesn't say anything, but you do, like, in your own head, hear that this fucking guy. And the tension somewhat breaks when you go, look, if you want to watch me get my ass beat, you do actually hear a little bit of the, like, that almost like a nervous laugh. Like she wasn't expecting like comedy to happen then and there. And she almost does teeter off the back of the railing. And she does catch herself. And there's like, uh, and she does let this breathe for a minute because she's trying to process and catch up in her own way before she adds, okay, we'll get to all that in a second. Why this and why now?
If we're doing something like hunting the mudmen is going to be quite dangerous, probably about as much as it's going to be fun. And if we're going to be working together, then I need to know that we'll be able to trust each other if it ever comes to it. And I also got a reminder of some of the other external threats we face that I thought were limited to more cities than I thought.
What are you talking about? And she does kind of sit up straighter, like, I'm not going to have you roll because you've seen this look on people's faces before of
Yeah.
what the fuck do you know and how do you know it?
My my sire was killed by hunters.
The shoulders go back down.
I don't know whether you'll laugh or be pissed off by this. But Harlan is indirectly responsible for reminding me of that.
And sure, she kind of stares off, sort of like to the side in like middle distance, trying to more. What the fuck does Harlan have to do with this?
Well, he took me to an art show. He said he does this with all the new bloods. Try to get to know them, but I have a feeling he was doing this because he knew of some other tensions.
He pays attention, I guess. More than I could say for most people.
He did dive into the grenade that was Yvette stopping me from leaving. So I guess he's okay every now and again.
But we can't tell him that.
Absolutely not. He does not get to know.
There's a little more of a conspiratorial laugh for a moment, but it's still clipped a bit terse, but less immediate tension than when you'd walked up? So, what do you want now? Where do we go from here? Because here's my problem. Like recognizes like. We're both assholes. We know that. I caught you doing an asshole thing. You had an asshole reaction. I had an asshole reaction on top of that. Now what?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. I kind of planned up to this moment and not that far ahead, which is not usually what I do. I was gonna plan, but then if I did that, I would have probably not gone through with it. So, what I will say is, if you I guess we start here and then see where we go. It can either be we at the very least won't get in each other's way, or we'll see if we maybe, if anything else comes of it. But otherwise, I'm just tired of losing people.
Who are you afraid of losing now?
I think that'll be something for my therapist to handle.
I'm gonna have you make a roll.
Okay.
Manipulation, subterfuge. We're gonna put this at. Well, it would be a 7, but you don't have subterfuge, right?
Subterfuge.
So
So
we'll
it's
put
an
it an
8.
8. I'll tell you now, a botch isn't the end of the world. She's not gonna get a name from it, but
But it's also Chris, so a botch is also 100% gonna happen.
oh, it has been a while since the curse has happened, but
Oh, that's too bad.
mm,
It's not a botch, it's just a failure.
okay. It's obvious that you're
Stream
holding
ruined.
something back. You do not have to say a particular name, but is the implication that there is a name or names attached to this. Well, we can sort of spread this out a little bit further. Is it more about losing a valued asset or losing someone that you actually like?
The implication is that Ellie has not started finding community until very recently,
Mm-hmm.
and is scared that now that that is starting to happen, that's when something's gonna fuck up and they are gonna lose someone. Because it is around the time, this is around the time when something terrible happened
Mm-hmm.
in terms of them feeling comfortable in a new space.
I think it's appropriate then that as you are mutually mulling over some of what's being said, and there's no immediate hostility, just a little bit of the back and forth that I think we can agree is tepid. You do hear a boat rock up to the docks. The gazebo actually has a pretty good line of sight, and you do see Chris get distracted and look over her shoulder. And Artem, as you get up to the docks, you see the Elysium guard walk up, and he looks like he's about to say something, but Jethro gives him a bit of that perma scowl in his direction. He kind of just stops mid-step, reaches over his shoulder, taps the shoulder radio. Maplethorpe needs 2 people at the docks, please. Within very short order, 2 additional guards from somewhere approach the docks and help you lift a tarped body with an irregular shape, more like as if someone tried to mummify Gonzo from the Muppets. It's an awkward shape where the face should be because of the axe handle sticking out. It wouldn't take much of an imagination to assume that's a body being carried off. With Poppy would be the only one not really seeing this because you're playing a game of chess with Lump. But Cora and Kate being on the side of the house, you eventually see it being carted around the side of the house with Jethro ahead of the little marching order. Artem, you are not brought along. Kate, you would see them getting into one of the Range Rovers that tends to be quite common among the staff at Wormslow. And they trundle off to somewhere else, deeper into the woods that you assume is staying on the grounds. And she will look at all that. She'll turn to you. Oh, fuck. And I think that's where we're going to go on break. Welcome back, everyone. Apologies for the delay. It's that kind of season. But let's get back into the back half of Savannah by Night. From disparate angles, our many kindred, minus Poppy, witnessed what could be only surmised as a body in a tarp being carted off by members of the Elysium Patrol, headed up by the Scourge, the one that is charged with removing the unwanted individuals that breach the prince's domain without his permission. Most notably, Well, if you don't have his permission, you're on that chopping block in more ways than one. What you can surmise from that view is someone didn't pass muster. But as Chris was the one that looked over her shoulder to watch this, and in front of Ellie go, "Oh, fuck." What was Ellie's response to this?
What was that?
She's going to quickly take out her phone and just say gazebo into the group chat.
I'm gonna pull Cora with me.
Mm-hmm. Artem, you are presumably walking off of the docks.
Mm-hmm.
You are... I'd say if you are all arriving there, Kate, Cora, and Artem would arrive pretty much at the same time because you were about equidistant. Poppy would be the last.
Is
Oh.
this the first time that I have seen Artem since we parted?
It is the same night that you... or... Yes, it is the same night.
Okay.
And he looks decidedly a little bit more disheveled. While his hands are clean, his clothes are a little more worse for wear.
Then, yeah, I'm gonna look at him as we approach and say, "That was it, wasn't it?" Referencing the fact that he told me to be safe.
He'll kind of shrug and be like, I honestly don't know. I hope so.
I'm gonna go plop down on a bench next to Chris.
Since she is up on the railing still, she's kind of leaning back a little bit, but they're long gone.
Well, you're both still alive.
Yeah, so what's this about?
Can we say Poppy walks up now and goes, "Hey, everybody, who died?"
Oh yeah, because you wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
Just
Kate just laughs a little bit. She is like noticeably drunk.
Yeah, I'm not having you even try a roll for that.
Oh,
She's like,
this town is fucked up.
Was I that intimidating to you?
She's gonna share a look with Artem. Yeah, let's go with that.
Are you causing trouble?
I always am, but not in this particular moment, theoretically.
Hmm.
Also, it sounds like I'm not the one who brought trouble. Sir.
Above table, Sam. You might want to check where your audio input's coming from again. Sorry to break the scene.
It's coming to the
Okay,
right
it
spot.
just sounded pretty muffled.
Why are you all dirty, Artem? What's going on?
I was playing in the mud.
Mud pies? Again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I know you told me not to.
I know, not in your Sunday best. She gestures to whatever he's wearing.
He has on like a sleeveless white shirt.
look, so I know that we have a habit of, among our kind, beating around the bush, but I'm pretty sure I just saw a dead somebody.
Oh,
And Artem looks a little messed up, so why don't we just cut to the chase?
No, because we can't talk about everything.
wait, did somebody actually die?
I'm not gonna say anything. I can't.
I'm gonna
Kate,
lean
what do you
into
mean?
Chris's leg. She's sitting up on the railing and I'm sitting on like the bench below. We can't talk about everything.
Who's we?
People. You don't talk about it, and you get a night off, and you get to have fun, and you get a little drunk, and then you shove it all back down and you go to work tomorrow.
Oh.
Chris will just sort of reach over, just like pat the head. Okay, Drunky Brewster.
Yeah, I think
So,
Cora's gonna pat her too and just kind of like, "Uh, all right, well, we don't want you to have to answer in this state. Artem, however, you're sober.
Don't bully him because he's sober. If he can't talk about it, he can't talk about it.
Yeah, I can't talk about it.
You should go get
you-
drunk, Artem.
What about like yes or no questions? Like, could you just shake your head one way or another if I asked something like, was this a Mudman thing?
It was not a Mudman thing.
Okay.
You do hear, Kate would hear it first. Whether or not she processes it first is a different story. But there would be that sound of nails drumming on the railing that Chris is sitting on.
Are you stressed?
Mm,
so this would be something, for example, that let's just say a certain security company would have amped up their security if they were aware of a problem.
I didn't follow that.
Okay. Is this related to the fact that there is increased that your group's security company has been increasing their security at various events?
You know we're at Elysium and we could just say the words. It's not like texting.
You know, there were a lot of security people at the I went to a gallery show this evening. There was a lot.
Do you think here's the thing.
out of character for just a second. Sam, are you presently still dressed as a Gothembo at the moment?
Do you know what's really funny, Graham? Is that yeah, Ellie has not changed out of their Goth Thembo outfit.
But you are, of course, unobfuscated at the moment.
I am unobfuscated.
Okay. Poppy, you have had a very high intensity evening.
I
an
have,
extent.
yes.
You also failed on a roll earlier, so this is going to be at a higher difficulty.
Okay.
This will be at a 9.
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's perception alertness again?
I'm actually going to go with wits and alertness because I'm trying to see if your brain catches up.
I have fewer wits than perceptions.
You
But
said you
we'll
had
see.
1 perception. You can't have less than that.
I have 3 perceptions and 1 alertness. That's what from the last roll.
Okay.
But I have 3 perception or 2 wits and 1 alertness.
Well, it's up to you if you want to use some of your temp willpower.
I'm freaked out about willpower. I don't think the thing is I don't think Poppy's paying attention very much in this moment. So if she catches it, it would be like a gleam of a wallet chain that suddenly like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
like something
Well,
like that.
Let's see how you roll.
No successes. I got an 8, but
Mm.
no dice. She doesn't notice.
She does not.
So your Poppy says that, and Ellie just goes, fascinating. The so how many of your clan are aware of what the problem is?
I can't talk about it. I'm sure you'll find out at some point, but it's not tonight.
Well, Tylene at the gallery said that there was something that came up that we would probably all be chatting soon. At least maybe she just implied us.
See?
Yeah.
You just have to wait.
Okay.
It's great being left in the dark, both metaphorically and for real.
No, trust me, it really is.
Artem will shake his head in agreement.
Cora's gonna give a sympathetic smile to the both of them. I imagine that this issue has been skirted around a little bit tonight with Kate and Cora. If that, so
Mostly you just went into professional driver mode and was like, oh, she's a little fucked up.
okay.
Yeah, the way we're treating it as she's a little fucked up right now. We're going to compartmentalize. We'll deal with that later. I'm just going to be the driver.
Okay. No friends. Not any friends.
No friends. Only all of these people in a gazebo.
But again, then you get a night off. You go see a concert. You take a friend home. You have fun. It's great.
Sounds
Boy,
like a good night off.
It was excellent.
Chris, you certainly sounded like you've seen this before when it comes to Jethro.
I mean, it's what a scourge does. I don't know why you're like completely surprised that the scourge was bringing in a body.
Bringing in
What?
a body that, if it was not one of ours and it's not a human,
It was covered in a sheet. You don't know what it is. A lot of theories.
Ellie, if you're looking for a magical question that you're going to trick us into telling you what's going on, you're not going to find it. I'm
it's not a
sorry.
matter. It's not.
That's when Chris will pipe up. She'll kind of like raise her hand to look at Artem. She'll then like just pat the top of the drunk's head. Just shh. Let Ellie get to their question.
Poppy like looks between them like what transpired, what went down.
What does Jethro hunt for?
And you were asking Chris this directly.
Yes.
Okay. She looks around at all of you, although she looks down at Kate at an odd angle, and she looks like she's about to ask you a question. Like, no, she's too fucked up. Does any of you know what a scourge does? Like what they really do?
No.
Yep.
Okay, Blue, do you want to tell them?
Go ahead.
Oh, I really want to know how you'll phrase it when you're all like whatever you are right now.
Give the player 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Very
3
detailed
sheets to the
notes.
wind is a expression, I think.
So many freaking notes.
Oops, all notes.
If we hadn't just seen a buddy, I'd ask her more about her night.
Fair.
Just so you're not scrambling through your notes.
They hunt down undesirables.
Okay, but what does that mean?
Okay, class, does anyone know what that means?
Clearly not.
Somebody didn't get a proper introduction.
That's one kind.
I'm not going to finish the sentence because
Ah, for fuck's sake, we can't keep dancing around. All right, like there's, depending where you are, they don't like thin bloods. That's a big one in some places. If you're, some places I guess don't really like caitiff. Anybody even know what that is?
No.
Okay. People who don't have a
it
clan.
means clanless.
Oh.
And the other one is Sabat.
Well, Artem shook his head when you asked what a caitiff was, so it's clearly not a caitiff.
In fairness, I don't know what a lot of things are.
He doesn't know what
Yes.
a Tremere is.
I know a Tremere.
That's
Now.
not the same thing.
Okay, Sherlock, what's next in your powers of deduction?
Well, probably means we're either dealing with a thin blood or a Sabat.
Out of character. Ellie, since you have been here, you have heard no negative connotations associated with thin bloods or caitiff. Not in a way that is prohibitive. You've heard one or two derisive comments, but not a murderous intent. Some people seem to look down on them, but not in a way that is round them up. You've gotten the impression that typically, if someone just shows up and announces who they are and play by the rules, and not say throw a haymaker at the prince, they get to skate by.
I feel like the haymaker at Prince comment was unnecessary and just not a thing that's relevant to our conversation here.
Hmm.
Yeah. To the max.
Hey. Strike one.
And banned.
So. Huh.
For all we know, it's some douchebag that they had some long-standing feud with. Or it's the other thing.
I don't know many people who are going to put out an entire alert for some douchebag that they had a long-running feud with. I mean, I would, but that's a whole personal thing.
So,
Grudges last decades, centuries with these people. You leave town, bad blood, moratorium, you come back, still in the fact.
And would that be enough to get an entire Ventru clan to go up in arms?
Question, out of character. Do you know
Yeah.
about that?
I know that Veritas ups security. And Veritas is
At least one venue.
at least one venue that
Mhm.
4 Primogen were at. And I know
Which
that
you
that was out of
can-
pocket.
You can at least also surmise, this is what muddies the waters, the fact that there were going to be Primogen at a place, that could be an increase.
Yes, and there were a bunch of Primogen at the opera, and there was not this level of security.
There
That
was a
was
fair
That
amount.
was a thing we
There was
established last
there
time.
was a fair amount though there. You did notice that there were
Oh, okay.
the sheriff.
I was basing it off of that was really off, not of the level
It-
that we
it
had for
wouldn't.
the opera.
The opera still
That's
had a
what-
fair
that
amount of
was what I was
security. It was maybe a lot for like a more human event, but it's still a bit.
Yeah.
It's not outside the realm of possibility. It's maybe noteworthy, but not insane.
Okay.
We
I had-
can retract
yeah.
a tiny bit.
Yeah. I was because I was
There
going
may,
off
yeah,
of the
that seems
idea
like there was a
that
little
was
bit of a
what was
misunderstanding. Yeah.
throwing me that direction. Okay. So, Artem, was this someone that our friend Jethro had a huge grudge with?
Good question.
Well, suppose I can draw my own conclusions.
Because you're outside and it's fairly quiet. While you do not have direct line of sight of the parking lot, you do hear cars rolling up. Do any of you go to investigate, or do you stay kind of where you are?
I'll go peer over.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not fully
Let
in
me
the
know if
gazebo
there's
anyway.
a truck there.
A truck?
Yeah.
Of what variety? We're in Georgia.
I will describe the truck.
I'm assuming you mean the Prince's truck,
Yes.
which is an older, or rather, a newer pickup truck, but not the newest model.
Excellent. Will do.
And when you do peer around the corner, you do notice a smattering of cars have begun to pile in. At first, it's just a small pool, but you do notice it start to fill up rather rapidly. You do see from your vantage point that there are guards as if to help direct the flow more quickly. Some even acting as a bit of a valet of getting some of the power players to the door and then getting their car moved quickly. I'm assuming that because this doesn't take place over seconds, this is minutes, some of you are starting to get curious enough to join Poppy so that you can start to see this.
Yeah, something's.
I'll
Yeah.
keep an eye out for the cars that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Artem sees a bunch of people coming in,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be like, "Shit, I
Mhm.
need to take a shower."
Gotta sober up.
I have a Tide to Go pen.
Kate, you know if you decide to spend a bit of additional blood, you can sober up quite immediately.
How much blood would it take?
We'll say 1. It's like you are sort of like flushing the system.
Oh man, I need to go eat more.
You did.
I was
I believe you said you
Hold
took
on.
3 off of Barry.
I did, and I forgot to mark it. Okay, we're good.
Back in business.
Cora.
Metagaming, but Cora is totally content to get Kate to where she needs to be so she does not have to spend blood.
Well, no, if
It's less about getting somewhere and more about
the people who are going to be
presentation.
there, yeah,
Sure.
I will spend that point of blood to just gonna kind of.
It's a strange sensation of it was a little kind of funhouse blurry for the last little while, where you do have memories, but it's less distinct, and it's like you just fell through a cold wall of water, and on the other side have found your sobriety.
Okay, well, the fun is over.
Well, well, welcome back, Miss Fulton.
For those that are paying attention, I'm assuming Ellie has joined the cavalcade of looky-loos. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ellie just kind of goes, all right, well, I guess once it's time for the rest of us to know, we will know. In the meantime, I guess I'll work on my own projects.
I have a feeling they'll call
Good
court
luck,
very soon.
Speaking of which,
getting the information. Oh, sorry.
Oh. As you are beginning to maybe try and extricate yourself from whatever this is, you are noticing cars of people you recognize. Not all of you would know all these cars, but enough of you in concert would be able to pick out the constellation of the prince's truck, the sheriff's, I believe it was a Ferrari, the Alden's older truck, his pickup truck, is nearby, but you would surmise that it had been there a while. For some of you would recognize various cars you would pick up on Nico's Zonda. More exotic looking car. Mostly wouldn't know the direct cars of your Primogen as yet, but you are seeing some of them filter in. Ellie, you are seeing the SUVs by which your Primogen and other members of your clan sometimes arrive as a group. That has pulled in. You are seeing this parking lot fill up rather quickly. Atherton is walking up behind you all. Well then, you are pleasantly in the correct place this evening, I believe.
Oh,
Looks like it. They calling court?
They are indeed. It would be my suggestion for you to start milling your way inside in short order.
Thank you, Mr. Atherton.
He looks to Artem in particular. Well, based on the current circumstances, I believe you have some advance notice, so I will say here's to your good health, Mr. Yovik.
Thank you. Do I have time to clean up?
If I may make a suggestion, here's a rare instance where you might want to stay as you are.
Okay.
Show proof of your hard work.
He will look to the Ventrue and give a approving nod.
Kate is in the back of her main thinking, shit, my blazer is in my car, which is in downtown.
He will walk away, leaving you all to your own devices of deciding what you're going to do, if you're going to walk in or not.
I told you you wouldn't have to wait very long. I'll head inside.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
I assuming you all go?
yeah. And as we walk inside, can Poppy like kind of just walk by Chris and be like, "Hey, is everything okay? You good?"
She looks to you. Oh, about Ali?
Yeah.
It's dealt with
Amazing.
for now. Tomorrow's a new
course.
day.
Always. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, well, let's see how it goes.
Poppy will like nudge her with her shoulder and then keep walking in.
Also, where the fuck did you go and why wasn't I invited?
It was like this kind of high society gallery thing. I don't think you'd like it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Ugh. No, I'm good.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
lot of old fancy people.
I wouldn't have been able to go anyways.
Mm.
I'll
Not
take you
tonight.
with me next time, Chris. You would have liked it.
Wait, where you went?
Yeah.
Where?
The shittiest of dive bars. It was fantastic.
You have to actually narrow that down, but I'm looking forward to it. And as you are beginning to all filter
I
in,
do want to check my phone to see if there's anything from any of the Ventru, and then if there's anything from Bell.
you do see something from Redgrave of, if you're not at the house, be there now.
Was that a direct message or like a group message that got sent
That's-
out?
There is no Venture group chat.
I'll just respond.
Wrong
already there.
corporate culture.
We don't have a Slack.
They would never use something called Slack.
Yeah, Slack seems
No,
antithetical
slacking
to the
off.
Venture mentality.
But yeah, I'll just send a response and I'm already there.
Mhm. Much like your first night in Savannah, it has become quite busy. Although there is none of the impromptu frivolity of a typical evening of a scheduled Elysium. There is more of a murmur as a crowd has begun to amass in the main hall. And for the most part, if you can think of a name or a face of the kindred that you have met, they are in attendance. Roughly about 80 to 85%. You can either choose to stand with members of your clan or stand together. It's up to you entirely. You are not escorted to a overlooking salon like you were on your first night. Such liberties are no longer relevant. You are not the talk of the town at the moment.
I'll look at everyone and say I'll talk to you after, and I'll go stand with the Ventru because of the meeting we had earlier and knowing that we all know.
Mm-hmm. How do the rest of you react to this? Where do you all want to stand right now?
Is Jethro there?
You see him near the dais of where the prince or anyone in charge typically speaks or sits. That sort of 1.5 step raised platform.
Okay.
But the prince is not present. You see the sheriff on the other side. You do see I'm not sure if the deputies have been fully identified to you yet. You may have picked it up before, but they are in attendance. For Ellie in particular, you would see Baxter, who you know to be your immediate deputy, is fully in view in the same sort of arrayed lockstep that he is with his peers. He is not relegated to some other position. You do see it would take you a moment to hunt for your individual primogen. For the Ventru in particular, he is not immediately visible. You do find Redgrave if you want to go stand next to her, but this
I'm
is
gonna stand by Redgrave.
this will not be a conversation. This is a stand at attention and wait situation. For Poppy, you will see Lore eventually showing up. She seems to have gotten here quite quickly, as perhaps she got out of attendance of that event in short order because, well, her and hers did not have access to phones and it wasn't their event, and an excuse to get out of here.
Poppy will go and stand near them since she's still trying to make a good impression for Madison and Lore, at least a little bit.
You would find eventually Tylene, Nico. So you don't have to stand next to Lore, but you can be in that sort of loose gravity. You're not like grouped up specifically by clans. There are people who are grouped up. The Venture are a little bit more as a unit, in the sense of Kate, you would not see Innsbruck standing with Tylene. The rest of it is a lot more scattered. There are some clumps of clan, but nothing sort of neatly broken up in divisions. So you can go and stand with particular individuals. If you choose to stand, say, next to your Primogen Poppy, you can do that, or if you want to go stand with Nico.
I'll stand with Nico, but I want to make sure that the Primogen sees that I'm there.
Mm-hmm. I will say that Clarice is also in attendance.
Okay.
But she's, of course, very much in Nico's orbit, or his in hers, depending how you look at it.
Yeah, I'll be near them.
For the Malkavians, it's much more scattered, because by their very nature, but there is a small pool of them around Matilda, including Grace. For Artem, Alden is standing to the right of the chair that is on the dais. It does not look like a throne, as has been previously established. It is more almost like just a nice dinner chair that could have been pulled from a dining room and just sat there. The fact that it's not even nailed down suggests that's probably what it is. It's likely even just rotated through them, so it's always the same chair. You've also seen, all of you, that whatever sort of cloth is draped over it isn't the same every time. But if you want to go stand next to Tessa, Artem, or just stand with Chris.
Yeah, I think he'd probably stick with Chris. Maybe if he can bring her over to Tessa, that might be best of both worlds there.
Mm-hmm. As you are trying to negotiate, find your way, you do see Alden sort of point over to you and gesture for you to come up front.
Fuck.
But as you get to the front, he sort of just holds out the hand to stop, gives you a little nod, so you're more just in the front row. Okay. Have I covered everyone? Sorry, Sam, where is Ellie going to be?
Sorry, so everyone has split off to other spots?
Cora, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
In fact, with Cora, well, no, go ahead first.
Well, I think if Ellie will see everyone else split off, and Ellie will turn to Cora and goes, "Well, ready for the big news?"
Yeah, I guess so. Cora's gonna kind of look around and see where are the next rung of neonate friends. Are any of them standing together? So Belle, Liv, Harlan, Lewis, those cats, because Cora in this moment I don't think is feeling go stand with the official party. She's feeling stand with the people that I like.
Harlan is sort of gravitated a little bit towards the Toreador, but he is with Lewis. Belle is not standing with her clan, at least that you can recognize. Sort of a spiky blonde-haired gentleman in a suit, and some of you would recognize Yvette nearby. Not necessarily standing right in lockstep, but just sort of in rather close proximity.
Where's Costello at?
He's found his own perch, leaning somewhere against the wall in the back.
All right, he's standing on his own. Can I like motion him over to us?
You're trying to get him to join you rather than go over to him.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. And Ellie, you're gonna stick around with Cora, or are you looking to kind of shift off to somewhere else?
No, Ellie was gonna stay right there.
Okay. He gives you a sympathetic smile, but he shakes his head. And if that's everyone settled in your positions, I'll get into this proper. Is that okay? All right. You do see Atherton briefly take the stage. Much like your first night, he bellows out to call everyone's attention and then quiets it back down. The little scattered atonal murmurs gradually die off. The Venture being the most regimented in that sense of they were doing a little bit of that, but the second call to attention happens off like a light switch. Once his job is done, he steps aside, and Prince Brooks, not on the throne, such as it is, but takes the center stage with Atherton on one side and the Seneschal on the other, standing a half step back from the prince. He is not wearing a suit, as he tends to more rustic presentations most of the time. Still always quite clean, but more blue collar and dressing that up. He has a woolen sweater with a jacket over it with the leather arm patches. With no effort, he bellows out loud enough for the crowd to hear. My fellow kindred, some of you may be aware of rumors going around the city. It is my duty to inform you that some of those rumors are in fact true. Evidence and bodies of Sabbat incursion have been found. Others have been found and dealt with by our Scourge and by one of our new arrivals of Artemiovic. However, it is difficult, if not impossible, to prove a negative. We do not know if the ones that have been found tonight were the ones that dealt the carnage that was found at Motel Savannah. The unfortunate reality is that they often act as individual cells rather than a coherent unit. We will investigate further. We will not rest until there are answers. We will not rest until we feel confident that the threat is dealt with. But make no mistake, the Sabbat, mudmen, and other external factors are an ever-present threat to our way of life. This is a sobering reminder of that grim reality. For those that are younger, newer, I hope this tragedy and news brings home to you the world that you live in. A reminder to be vigilant, to not get complacent. For while this may or may not be dealt with now, the next situation is always looming. Your primogen will have additional answers for you, though I suggest you act with alacrity, as sunrise is uncomfortably soon. Thank you all for your attendance. Stay safe. Anyone that you suspect as being of the Sabbat, report. Any situations unfurl, report. Be well. And that's when he steps away from the stage. Unless there is anything that any of you would like to add at this moment, this may be a good time for us to leave off.
Are we ending this night here?
This will be the final session of this evening.
Okay, then I have a couple more things.
Okay.
I want to talk to Belle, because you said remind you to follow up for that text.
What was the exact thing that you sent her? That she was okay, or?
Yeah, surprised that she didn't go home with anyone, and then something like that band was more than just like a normal kind of emotional gut punch or something like that.
You eventually will check your phone and we can talk about it later. Good eye, though.
I'll just reply with a stay safe.
Is there anything else you wanted to quickly do?
I will need a ride back to my car from Cora.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Ellie, is there anything that you wanted to very quickly do? Because we are going to be transitioning out here. Okay. Poppy. All good? Artem.
Is Artem feeling any eyes on him?
Yes.
I think he's going to maybe try and take that shower.
Cora, is there anything else you'd like to add before we head out for the evening?
Other than giving Kate a ride, we are going to kind of quick look at Ellie since I'm standing with them. Well, it seems like your deductions were about on the money.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So they're going to hand out flyers about how to look for Sabat, or
No. I have a couple ideas coming to mind.
okay, you'll have to keep me posted.
I will. I'll let you know if anything else comes up.
I owe a certain venture a ride, so I'm gonna head over that way.
And on that note, we will be fading out from there. Thank you all for sticking with us.
I will send 2 text messages real quick. I want to send a group message that says, and that's why I got so drunk. I worked Motel Savannah.
Yeah.
And to Artem privately, I just want to say, well done.
Okay then. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with our swapped around evening this week and for giving the new channel a chance and for sticking with us. And we hope to see you all in the new year, which unfortunately this means this is the last session of 2025. We will, however, be having a Q&A on January 2nd if nothing gets in the way of that, which, you know, tell the story, tell your plans. But if nothing gets in the way, we'll be back, I believe, on January 7th, 2026 for session 47. See you all soon.